Here we are once again hanging out at Felony Flats, man. It's been a while since we've been here. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, it is odd. But let's get that 8 languages now. After our lessons from Gabe last weekend, we are up to 8 languages.
I think we're beyond 8.
Yeah.
We learned how to say certain words in certain languages that we really can't repeat. I'm not even sure if he was telling us the truth.
And we've got pictures to prove that he may not have been
coherent,
able to tell the truth because he wasn't coherent enough.
That was kind of comatose, upright and vertical most of the time over there in McCall, Idaho. It was a great event.
Blast.
For those of you that, well, you probably do know, we didn't have a show last week. This show, the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show, because we were in McCall, Idaho, covering the Thorne Cup Championships for the Western States League.
It was a blast. We had a great time from the time that we started out at 5 a.m. in the morning until we got back at 12:30, 1 o'clock on Monday. Just a great time.
Yeah. There you go. You're too used to having the headset on. Your head's wandering everywhere in the mic.
Yeah, it's just rocking back and forth.
Don't rock.
I'm trying not to.
Don't rock. Just keep it right there.
I've got to rock. I'm a rock and roller.
You are not a rock and... Well, yeah, from way back, but not now. Yeah. Maybe in the wheelchair you can rock and roll a little bit. Rock and roll down the stairs. But we did have a great time. We were over in McCall for 5 days and covered all the games that were being played over there. The first day was March 28th, Thursday, which would have been the normal broadcast day. But we were over in Idaho. This town... I get back and I realize how little people use turn signals here, which really irritates the hell out of me. I also realize that the 2 most common colors I've been seeing lately on traffic lights are yellow and red.
Yeah.
They have no lights in McCall.
No.
There's one coming in. There's one at the other end of town. But that's it. Everything else is pretty much yield right away type stuff. I was going nuts. I've never experienced so much road rage in my life.
When you came back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't experienced that. I haven't been on the road as much as you have. I've been spending my time in the office.
No, it's just absolutely driving me up the wall. I was telling a lot of people how in the summertime they don't allow
left turns.
I think it's left turns. So you can't make a left turn in McCall, Idaho, I guess in the summertime because the traffic is so heavy that it would hold everything up.
Yeah. JB was telling us that you have to know the town really well and you're able to get to and from wherever you want to go with right turns.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's possible, but apparently it works for them and we're going to leave that there. I don't want that. Here's the other thing that outside the rink, and we were talking about this up in McCall, there's crosswalks across the main street. And they have no signals. They have no walk signal or anything like that. They have no traffic lights. But they have flags that you grab and hold out in front of you and wave. And you walk out and people stop.
Yeah.
That's way too trusting for me. Because here you hear the acceleration of vehicles trying to hit you. There you hear just gentle braking. They stop and they wave you across. You wave your little flag. You go across the street, put it back in the holder, and go on your way.
Yeah, and they're all over the place, too. I mean, we saw that when we first got there Thursday afternoon. I was trying to figure out, what is this for? Why are there orange flags here? And I don't remember who it was that told us, but then, it made a lot of sense, and it was pretty easy to do. You just pick it up from one end, you walk across the street, drop it off in the other end. It made it easy. But if you're supposedly standing on the corner, you don't have one. That way people aren't going to stop because they're assuming that you're not going to be crossing the street until you pick up an orange flag.
I saw a lot of people not using them, which, they didn't get hit. That's a good thing. The other thing that, I don't even think I told you this, I was standing outside the doors And it's a beautiful facility. I mean, absolutely beautiful rink and construction and architecture. It sort of looks kind of like a log cabin as you walk in. And I'm looking up into the rafters, and there's an owl there. And it's kind of moving, it's sort of doing whatever. I thought it was moving anyway. Might have been just my eyes. And there's a guy out there. I go, dude, look at the owl. There's an owl up in the rafters up there. He goes, really? I go, yeah, look, it's right up here. He goes, really? That's an owl? I'm going, yes, it's an owl. It's battery powered.
But it's a battery powered owl.
It's a battery powered owl. It's not real, and they put it there to discourage birds from building nests up there. And it looked so real. I thought it was an owl. Felt like an idiot. Going, yeah, okay, well, I knew it the whole time. I didn't really know what it was.
I have never seen one of those.
Did you not see the owl?
You did tell me about it, and I never looked up to take a look at it.
There's two of them. Yeah, both on one on the right, one on the left, and they are there to discourage. It's kind of like a guard bird, I guess, to discourage other birds from building nests.
Hanging out.
It was awesome. I haven't seen that in a long time. In fact, I've never seen it ever.
No, I haven't. I've never seen a battery-operated owl.
No.
I've seen other things that are battery-operated.
I'm sure, like what?
Like what?
Little
RC cars.
Yep. Anything else?
Flashlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
That's it? That's as deep as you can go.
That's all I want to go.
That's as deep as you can go.
Yeah. I can go deeper, but
why would you?
But I'm not going to go deeper.
No, please don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show, wasting time like we usually do with little entertainment value. Here broadcasting from Felony Flats, once again, back from our road trip. So let's kind of go through sort of what happened. We are going to be talking to Brent Maranto here in about, almost a little less than 10 minutes. We're going to give him a shout. I do believe he's down in Vegas.
He is in Vegas at the Stratosphere, I think.
And we're talking to him why he's down in Vegas.
I can definitely tell you that he's probably not there adhering to his diet.
So on Thursday, March 28th, round one, we had the Southern Oregon Spartans taking on the Dallas Ice Jets, Dallas being a very potent team all year long. And Southern Oregon beat them 4-2. I really thought Dallas was going to do a lot better than they did.
Yeah, we interviewed Tom Kelly, assistant coach for the Dallas Ice Jets, after that game. You can listen to that up on our YouTube channel. They just never got it going, Dallas. Not in their first game against the Spartans or their second game. Although they did look a lot better in their second game. But they didn't have the pucks going their way, and I suspect, from a coach's point of view and probably the team point of view, it just wasn't their typical game.
No, so Southern Oregon ended up beating Dallas 4-2. Bay Area Seals took a hit against the El Paso Rhinos 6-3. Now, Bay Area ended up beating Fresno for the Pacific Conference Championship, where Fresno had been on top for quite a while. So Bay Area came in and took a 2-1 conference win there, but did end up losing to the El Paso Rhinos 6-3 in the first round. Fresno Monsters kind of scared Idaho a bit there. Idaho ended up winning the game 4-3, but Fresno played extremely well that first game.
Yeah, they did. They came out on fire and gave the Idaho Junior Steelheads a run for their money. I just want to take a quick step back to the Rhinos and Bay Area Seals game. Is those two teams were probably the biggest teams at that tournament. They had some really big boys on both of those teams.
I think El Paso was bigger than Bay Area.
Yeah.
Big old Texas boys, even though they weren't from Texas. We're still going to say the big old Texas boys. Game, so that was the wrap-up of round one. Round two, March 29th, ended up having El Paso taking on the Fresno Monsters. El Paso, they came out with a vengeance. Ended up beating Fresno 8-3 in the first game of round two on Friday, the 29th. Dallas, this was a win-or-go-home game for Dallas. And Bay Area Seals, a win-or-go-home as well. So one of those teams is going to win and move on, lose and go home. Dallas ended up losing the game 4-2.
Yeah, Orsic had a very good game. He had a very good tournament all weekend long. Goalie for the Bay Area Seals, and he just looked phenomenal. Very big boy, aggressive, liked to play the puck as well. He was fun to watch.
Well, he ended up being goalie of the tournament, MVP goalie of the tournament. So, yeah, big kid was Orsic. So he came up huge in that game, 4-2 Bay Area over Dallas. Then Game 3, a game Southern would probably like to forget.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. Yep. Idaho ended up beating the Spartans 10-1 in that last game of round 2. Now, Southern actually, because of the way other games were played, qualified for the semis after the first day, just because of who lost, who had to win. And so it's sort of been, I don't know, kind of one of those things all year long where Southern, they played much better when their backs were up against the wall. And my impression was, not that they weren't playing that well, but they certainly did not have the same intensity in Game 2 as they had in Game 1. And then Buckley ended up going down with an injury 7 minutes into the second period. Austin Bryn came in. At that point, it was 2-0 Idaho, and then Idaho just went goofy nuts. Ended up taking the win 10-1.
Yeah, I think they ended up scoring, was it 7 goals in the third period?
Yeah, they just uncorked it. And again, it's one of those things with your back up against the wall. I do think Southern played better when their back was up against the wall, and that was sort of the mantra, I think, when it came to the semifinals, because, well, we'll get to that game in a second. It's like Southern can't get away from Idaho. They could not get it. It's like 6 times in a row that Southern ended up playing Idaho. But the first game of the day, semifinals on Saturday, March 30th, Bay Area Seals, kind of payback, ended up beating El Paso 7-2 in the first semifinal game on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a convincing win, especially after El Paso beat them the first day, 6-3. Again, Orsic came up big, and their entire team just played over the top against the El Paso Rhinos, and that was an upset.
It's a hard Rhiners. It's really tough to
Rhiners.
Yeah, it's really tough to get that O in there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're Rhinos. I guess maybe from Texas you can say that,
or Canada.
Right? Nah, Rhiners. I think
Rhiners?
It's more of a.
The Rhinos, the El Paso Rhinos. Orsic just played out of his mind, and the entire Bay Area Seals team was just outplaying El Paso. Big upset.
Yeah, I don't know. They believed, I guess, because they came out and they were thoroughly convincing in the game. There wasn't any hesitation whatsoever. And again, those were the two, at least in our opinion, the biggest teams there. So it was a full-on earthquake when these two teams met. It was crazy.
Exactly.
Idaho ended up taking on Southern Oregon Spartans again, and I believe it was the 6th game in a row that they had played. And Idaho ended up taking the game 3-1. Very solid game for the Spartans. Even though they went down to defeat, it was one of the few times, and we're kind of maybe talked to Brent about this a little bit, maybe he saw it as well, where Idaho was chipping the puck out of their zone quite a bit.
And Idaho also got outshot in the third period,
which does not happen very often.
Yep.
So, Southern definitely has a lot to be proud of. They ended up, I guess, proving, not that they had anything to prove to anybody except themselves, they belong there. They belong to in the tournament.
Absolutely, especially with all the adversity that they had to go through this year.
Oh, 3 coaches, and the huge trade that ended up taking place right after Christmas. I mean, and it was a mess. It was a mess. So they really pulled it all together, and they showed that they belonged at that tournament. So hats off to Southern Oregon. And then we had the championship game, March 31st. Having Bay Area Seals taking on the Idaho Junior Steelheads. And guess what?
What?
Yeah. Idaho won that too.
Yeah, nice Easter present for Idaho.
Idaho seems to win everything.
3-peat.
Yeah. In 4 years, they have won the Cup 3 times, the Thorne Cup. And they ended up beating Bay Area by a score of 4-2. And I think that was something like their 25th or 6th win in a row. A major role right there.
Yeah, well, hats off to them. I mean, it's not easy to three-peat. It's not easy just to repeat.
It's not easy to win the Cup,
let alone easy to win it.
Defend it.
And, they played really well. It was a good game. It was a very good funnel. It's the kind of funnel you like to go to and attend because it could have gone either way, the way that this was being played.
Yeah, it's really not, something that you want to see a blowout, but Bay Area in no way was going to let that happen. No way. And they didn't. And they did themselves proud. And they ended up losing, but both those teams did qualify to go down to Las Vegas for the UHU National Championship, which is the AAU version of USA's Hockey National Championship. So they're all down there. They're all down in Vegas. And that's where we're going to be talking to, we hope, Brent Maranto here very soon. In fact, we're going to go ahead and try to get Brent on the phone right now. So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, and then... we might be back with you if our computers ever work. Here you go. All right, we'll be right back with you, folks. Brent Maranto from Las Vegas coming on the line. Introducing the 2013 Brent Maranto Diet Plan.
Honestly, Ossifer, I'm not under the alkafluence of alcohol as some think will Pete, but the drinker I stand here, the longer I get. I've only had tea martinis, and I've got all day sober to Sunday up in. So sis on you, Pister, you ain't so muckin' fudge. What in the world makes you think you're so smuckin' fart?
Where's the beef?
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Viva gorditas.
Rice with beef.
Pizza.
I love bun, Cecile.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Pizza.
Bud Light, I said.
Flop, flop, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
We are a classy bunch.
Oh, yeah, we're classy, all right.
Yeah, we're classy.
I'm not sure we want to go that far, but if you followed us over in McCall, you kind of get a sense of what that was all about. On the line of BS right now, we are honored to have the third wheel, BS boy, Brent Maranto. You there, Brent?
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing good, man.
Great.
What's going on with you?
I'm glad to hear I'm the third wheel. I finally stuck somewhere.
You're stuck in a lot more places than this, and a lot better places than this.
Yeah.
But
isn't that the truth?
Yeah. So, number one, you're in Vegas. Is that correct?
I am in Vegas. I flew in this morning. Nice little 45-minute flight from Burbank to Vegas. So it wasn't quite getting up to McCall, but it was nice and early this morning. So yeah, I'm here right now, Sin City.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just kind of keep it on the up and up. You're not going to be doing anything goofy tonight, are you?
No, not me. I mean, I've already lost $120.
Oh, very nice.
Walked through the casino, lost that money. I've been here like not even 12 hours. I'm already just down, just bummed now. Missing you guys, of course. So, there's no gambling in McCall, and I think that's part of its allure.
Oh, no. You must have been going to the wrong places because we gambled all night long.
All night long, man. Where were you?
I missed out.
You did. We tried to call your hotel room a couple times, but you never answered. Either you were avoiding us.
Reason for that.
Yeah,
I screened my calls.
Oh, very good for you.
Always shows up on my cell phone, and I go, hey, I'm not going to answer that. But today, I kind of got conned into it by Special Greg, so I figured, you know what, why not, for a couple nice guys.
Yeah, well, I think, number one, let's kind of catch people up on, it's been a couple days now, the Thorne Cup was decided, things have kind of settled down, people have had a chance to really think about how everything went. What was your final impression of the Thorne Cup up there in McCall?
Awesome. If you could sum it up in one word, and I think everybody that was around it, feels the same way. It was a spectacle. I've said that a million times. It was something heard and seen all around junior hockey, not just the WSHL, which is, par for the course. We've done a great job over the years, and we're known in our circles. But now, with the event, the way the people McCall brought us in, the way John Barth, did everything. We had you guys there. We had Dick Dorfman behind the mic for Fast Hockey. I couldn't envision it, and I'm sure Ron White, the commissioner, feels the same way going any better. And actually, we just had a couple meetings with teams from the Midwest Junior Hockey League and Northern States Hockey League, the two other leagues that make up the United Hockey Union of AAU. And they were saying, hey, that looked awesome. I've heard great things. They were asking about it. And it was good to see that kind of buzz, And, just the way the town of McCall came about. Actually, Ron wrote a letter in their town newspaper that comes out every Thursday thanking everybody. And, telling him, it was just absolutely hands down pure class. And I'm sure you'd say the same thing.
Well, we had talked about it quite a bit on the air there and kind of in the first part of this show here, just how McCall sort of absorbed and welcomed everybody coming in, and the way John Barth really kind of organized and managed everything else. It really kind of felt like it belonged there. It wasn't out of the ordinary or out of place. You know what I mean? We didn't disrupt anything. It absorbed us.
No, everybody was welcoming, and every time we went into a store, a restaurant, a bank, wherever we went, if we had our WSHL championship Thorne jacket on,
which I didn't get one. I'm still a little bit bitter about that, but continue.
No, where do you think Special got his from?
Yeah, Brent Maranto, right?
Yeah, it has your name on the back, but he just sharpened it out.
Is there some food in the pocket?
Crumbs. Yeah. There's not much left.
just crumbs.
But everybody was just so welcoming, and it wasn't just, hey, how are you? They asked if you were where you were from, what you were doing for the tournament, and how you were involved, and it was just really nice to see that. We've been around to a lot of different places, Steve and I, and normally you don't get that.
No, absolutely not. And it's like you said, going back there, Pirate. You said, what did you say? I'm losing it. I'm in Vegas, and I'm just losing it. But you said it was like it was always been there, and it kind of hit me. You're spot on with that. They have a winter carnival they do up there every January or February, and it's just kind of something that everybody does. And that's kind of how the Thorne Cup Finals felt. It didn't feel out of the ordinary. It didn't feel odd. It felt like it's been there every year, and that it would be odd if it was somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. It really felt like it was home. And I told my wife when I came home, I said, McCall does not allow franchises. There's no fast food. There's no franchises there. And she goes, what did you do for dinner then besides the cinnamon graham crackers at 1 o'clock in the morning? I said, every night we ate, it was like going home to eat because the food was fresh. It felt homemade. It wasn't quick. It wasn't, cooked 24 hours prior and thrown in the microwave to heat up. It felt like going home to every single restaurant we ate at. And that was the way everybody made us feel there. It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think you can say enough good things about how like I said, we were in El Paso last year, and Corey Herman and those guys did an absolute great job. But that's a city of 1 million people. McCall, maybe a couple thousand, and like you said, the town shut down. There's a banner coming in with our name on it, and really, I was just talking to the limo driver that picked me up. Don't worry about that. Ron sends a limo for me.
Very nice.
And that's a subtle little drop.
Drinking on the plane.
And he was going, "Where are you guys from?" And I told him, we're a junior hockey league, and he goes, "Oh, like the Wranglers who play in the the ECHL." And I said, "No, I tried to explain it to him, and it's such a big city. There's so much else to do here, and they do a great job. The Stratosphere does a great job, which is our host hotel. Las Vegas Ice Center, Kirk Brooks and his staff shut the place down. It's top notch, but I don't think we're ever going to get, unless we go back to McCall, that small town. Maybe Medford, Oregon would shut down their operation.
Oh, yeah.
But just how secluded McCall is, and how really, and the whole town shut down. We were on the news. There's clips on YouTube, and it was just top class. And like I said, it's going to be the benchmark for years to come as far as the Thorne Cup Finals and moving forward. Eventually,
you have to have that bar set, and each year, whether it's El Paso or other cities that have had the league, the Thorne Cup there, at that time it was great and it was perfect and it worked. But every year, if you become stagnant and stale and you don't try to better the previous year, then it just becomes ordinary. And this was anything but ordinary. That's like my wife finishing my sentences.
Yeah, you got to work that in some way.
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
It's like you said, and I'm glad you guys were there to see it, because I've seen what the WSHL can do. I understand where this league is going, but a lot of people on the outside are just now starting to learn how far the league has come under Ron White. We're up to 22 teams now, 4 divisions. Everybody goes, well, it's watered down talent. There's a couple teams that struggled in their first year. We have a division champion in their first year, the Bay Area Seals, who made it to the title game.
Yep.
The talent in our league, if you look around from top to bottom in the WSHL, Tier 3 anywhere else, I'd be hard-pressed to find a league as thorough as this league. And I think that was one of the more shocking things for you guys as well. You guys are NORPAC guys, and they got, the couple good teams up there and everything like that. But you guys, I mean, immediately were saying, wow, I mean, the talent level in this league is unlike, we would expect.
Oh, absolutely. It hit us right away, because we've been so absorbed in NORPAC and, the A-Dub. But seeing it live, and to go back to what you said, yeah, you had an expansion team go all the way to the finals. Plus, you had Southern Oregon and Seattle make it to the playoffs. 2 brand new teams in the Western States Hockey League also. So
and Tulsa. So it's not watered down.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
These teams that we saw up there had everything: speed, talent, quickness, size. It was just amazing to watch in person. You don't get this. I know that you don't always have an opportunity to travel, but you don't get the same feel when you're watching it on the television. It's just an amazing speed that they had there and size.
Real quick, you've got a couple things going on. I want to hop to the Vegas thing real quick, unless you had something else to butter up the call with.
Let's go. That's where I am. Let's do it.
Right on. So you have the AAU National Championship, but it's held under the banner of UHU, United. What does that stand for?
United Hockey Union. So AAU is more known for their basketball, baseball type tournaments.
Right.
So when WSHL broke off from USA Hockey, this is our second season under AAU. Ron kind of wanted to create, just like, because Ron basically runs the AAU branch of the hockey. He's kind of the commissioner of that as well. Ron White, commissioner of the WSHL. And he said, we need a different name other than AAU because it doesn't really go with ice hockey yet. They do a lot of roller hockey. So they came up with United Hockey Union. And last year it was just us. So basically the WSHL champion Idaho last year, they won it in El Paso, and that was it. There were no nationals because we weren't USA Hockey, and there wasn't another league in the UHU yet. Well, this season, there's 2 other leagues. There's the Midwest Junior Hockey League. It's an expansion league out of Michigan for the most part. I think they have teams in Ohio, Illinois, that area. 10-team league, so they're an expansion league. And then also the Northern States Hockey League out of Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York. Are a 7-team league, and they're not expansion. They used to be called the IJHL, the International Junior Hockey League, and they were kind of an independent league for the last few years. They get some talents coming from overseas and stuff like that, and I do the stuff in Valencia for the Flyers as well, and a couple of our better players that have come to the program over the last 2-3 years have come through the IJ. And now the IJ is the Northern States League, and it's a part of the UHU. So we got all 3 leagues there, the top 2 teams from each league. And very similar to the Thorne Cup, you got the 6 teams. You do 2 days of playing, and then you have semis, and then you can move it on. And then we also each league sent a best of the rest team. So all the teams that weren't the top 2 teams can send 2, 3, 4 players. The WSHL has 2 teams. We have more teams to fill it. Mm-hmm. And the Northern States League and the Midwest League each have 1 team themselves, and they're going to run concurrently with the national championship. So it's kind of cool. A ton of hockey, a lot of hockey players here. It's good to see everybody back in Vegas. We do the showcase here every December, and we're back again. They're kind of looking at us like, wow, you guys are back already type thing.
Or locking the door one to the other going, oh, my God, here comes that Maranto guy again.
Yeah, hey, he's going to leave all of his money at the blackjack table.
Put a lid on the salad bar.
Pizza.
He's shutting it down.
Dressing on the side, please, sir.
I'm just going to dip it.
Grilled chicken, right?
Do you guys have any chopsticks? Yeah, the portions are smaller, Brent, with chopsticks.
Whatever makes you think that. I can't use chopsticks anyway, so I get made fun of.
Dude, there's a trick to it. I taught my kids when they were really young. You put a rubber band at the end of them, so you get a snap. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have those for 5-year-olds at Chinese restaurants. You should try that.
Exactly. I swear. And first of all, it's Japanese that make sushi, not Chinese. 2 very different countries.
Well, I'm talking sushi.
South Korea, by any chance?
No, I'm making a trip up to kick the crap out of the guy in North Korea, though.
Yeah, the little guy?
Yeah, the little guy. He's smaller than you. I think I could take him.
Yeah, I'll buy. Hey, you guys are 2 big dudes, all right? So no, I'm 5'7", which in America, from what I'm told, is pretty average.
No, for a woman.
No way.
Oh, go listen to you.
No way.
Okay, here's the average.
5'7", 5'8".
No, 5'10" is average for a guy.
No, it has
5'10" is average for a guy. Maybe 5'11", depending on if you're Brent Maranto, standing on a phone book.
Yeah, 5'10", I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that? Yeah, still.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine with 5'10".
No, it was a blast. Greg likes to think he's a lot taller than he really is. And, when he puffs up his chest, I will tell you, when we were in...
Here we go.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
When, he had women hitting on him in McCall.
Yeah, he had girls checking him out. I remember him checking him out in the grocery store.
Yeah, you know why?
No, let's hear this.
No, he had this T-shirt that he wore. It says, "Hit on me, I'm single." And
of course he did.
Yeah, because
you got to pack that.
He is the epitome of, I feel sorry for you. Let's go be nice to Special Greg. He looks like Ron Hextall. He needs sympathy and help. And he had more women following him around than you were tracking crumbs down the hotel corridor.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And then, you know what? That's his little cross to bear, and that's mine. And, we move forward, and we understand each other.
My cross to bear is every time I'd walk into a business in McCall, people thought I was going to rob them.
That's because you kept wearing that mask.
Oh, my God. It's the pirate guy. I had a woman come up to me in the rink, this little tiny older woman who was a sponsor. I don't know what business she owned. She comes up and goes, "Are you guys those BS boys?"
Yep.
Well, I'm half of one. Who's that pirate guy? Where's the pirate guy? I want to meet the pirate guy. What are you talking to him?
You. Look at that.
Hey,
you have fans, too.
Well, no.
I think they like you because you look like, a guy that just hangs out by the lake all day there in McCall. Does like ice fishing and stuff. Like you would be on the Deadliest Catch or something like that.
Bazinga!
Just kind of woke up, threw your wool pants on, and came into the building and have a beautiful voice. By the way, would have never expected it.
Stop, Brent. You're making his head swell. He can barely get through the door now.
Oh, dude, I can get through any door. So let's pop back here. So you got the national championship firing up tomorrow, and everyone can follow that on fasthockey.com and follow.
And I will be broadcasting those games.
Yes, you will.
I know last week I was just doing Twitter, Facebook, but I'm bringing the mic back. So
that's nice.
I hope you guys will be watching for that.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
We will.
Oh, yeah. We'll be watching that. First game up, you have Bay Area versus Lake George. Do you know much about the other teams that are there? I know Tennyson Chevrolet is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I do know a little bit about them. I've done some research on them. Obviously, I have to with the broadcast and everything, but I've talked to a few people, and, I have some friends that play back east, and I've asked them a little bit. And from what I know, we'll just go game by game if you don't mind. So Bay Area, obviously WSHL runner-up. They have that goalie Orchik who keeps them in every game.
Yep.
They're big, they're strong, and that's going to be the task for Lake George, I think, who have the skill. I don't know that they necessarily have the size to keep up with Bay Area. Lake George actually, they're from upstate New York. Or no, maybe they're western New York. They're western New York. Syracuse is upstate. Anyway, so Lake George finished number 1 during the regular season in that league. I think they only lost 3 or 4 games. And they have a pretty solid goaltender. They have, some depth forward. They made some moves late in the season. They lost in the playoffs. So the biggest thing about the WSHL is that our playoff system has been a lot more thorough. Maybe thorough isn't the word, but there's been more games to it. So each division in the WSHL played a 3-game semifinal, a 3-game final, and then went to the Thorne Cup where Bay Area and Idaho each played 4 games. So Bay Area's played 10 games. Each of their first 2 series went to 3. And Idaho, who's swept through everybody, has played 8. Mm-hmm. Well, Lake George, I think, has only played 3 games, and Syracuse has only played 2. So Lake George started out in the quarterfinals in the 6-team. So it's a 7-team league. Only 16 made the playoffs. They won the quarters, they won the semis, and then they faced Syracuse in the finals. Syracuse got a bye into the semis as the number 1 team in the league. And then Lake George lost, or no, other way around. Lake George was the number 1 team. Syracuse beat them in the title game. So they've only played 3 playoff games, or 2 playoff games for Lake George. So that's something to look at. And especially with travel coming all the way from New York when, Boise's not too bad of a drive down from Vegas. What are you looking at? Maybe 13 hours or so. And then you're looking at, Bay Area, which is a short little jaunt, maybe 6 hours into town. So the travel will be something to look at. The size will be there. But I think that Bay Area Lake George game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Orchik's a good goaltender, but I think Lake George has the firepower to stick around there.
You've got Orchik, who's been playing really well. And I'm going to be interested to see how that does come out, like you say. But what you want to remember is if these guys have only had a few playoff games, they haven't been playing that much recently. And Bay Area and Idaho have been playing up through Sunday. So there could be some game legs coming in there as well.
Yeah, it can work one or two ways, as well. I mean, maybe Lake George, who hasn't played, has only played a couple times, they're not in a flow yet, and Bay Area and Idaho coming in, they're 19, 20-year-old kids. I don't know how tired they're going to be. And maybe they're in a flow right now. I mean, you saw the way Idaho played at the Thorne Cup Finals in front of the home crowd. They were on a roll. They would have played right through today, every day, if they could have. So I think that's something to look for. But, yeah, it's like you said, fatigue could come into it. But I'm more of the belief that Idaho and Bay Area are fully in the swing of playoffs now, when maybe Lake George and Syracuse aren't as much.
Well, I also think that Idaho kind of used to playing at that altitude, coming down to the flatlands. Mm-hmm. That will really benefit Idaho as well. The thing, though, that, and again, you kind of mentioned it, the age thing, it's playoffs, though. The adrenaline's pumping. Anybody can beat anybody. Mm-hmm. Look at Southern taking out Dallas in first up in the round one. So, everything looks great on paper. Orsic could have a bad game, and Bay Area, they could fall. But I haven't really seen Orsic have a bad game for a while. A couple of questionable goals, but a lot of times that's a team element of, did the D clear the puck, and, was there a puck loose in the slot or whatever. I just think it's great exposure for the entire league, though, to do this, again, to have a national championship. Yeah. And Idaho? Oh, yeah. Holy smokes. Here we go again, right?
Yeah, I mean, Idaho, there's not a whole lot you can't say about them. But it's like you said, to have a national championship again, and, it's only 3 leagues right now, and, that we expect that to go up within the next couple of seasons here to, eventually 5 or 6. But the fact of the matter remains is that these kids, especially, obviously the WSHL, they didn't play for a national title last year. So the Mercados of the world haven't really played on a national stage. Obviously, they have offers all over the place. But now this is nationals, you know what I mean? It may not be USA Hockey Nationals yet, but you are playing for a national title, and I don't know how many people can say that in their hockey careers or whatever you do. You could be a pogo stick national champion. You have the chance to be a national champion. And when I talked to Stefan Mercado after the game on Sunday for Idaho, he said, it's going to be great to hang out and drink a couple sodas for a couple days here, but it's right back to work, and this isn't our ultimate goal yet. Yeah, we're a league champion for the 3rd straight season, but we're ready to go come Vegas, and we have scouts flying in, and that's a part of the reason we do this in Vegas is, the ice availability. The Stratosphere gives us like $29 hotel rooms, and, it is on the north part of the Strip, but let me say, the Stratosphere rooms, I'm in a room right now, it's very upscale. I mean, if this room, you put it in the MGM Grand, it's $200.
Oh, see, I've never been there. I've never been there to the Stratosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's north, and, it's not in the best section of town. They were trying to build up around it, and the recession kind of hit. But, I've stayed here a couple times for the showcase. It's our host hotel for that. The casino, it's okay. It's nothing special. But the rooms are really, we get $29 rooms, obviously minus free. But the rooms, like I said, you could place it in the MGM Grand or, the Monte Carlo, something like that, and it's going to be a $200 room. And then you could go up in the Stratosphere. I could see you guys from there. Way up there, you could skydive. I know you're whatever they call it, bungee cord, whatever, and that seems right up your alley, there, Pirate.
Well, isn't that the hotel that has the roller coaster, not the roller coaster, but the ride that goes out over the edge?
And then dips. Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Okay. Yeah. See,
I wouldn't do it.
I don't have a problem base jumping. I could jump off the building and parachute down to the ground, but I'm not trusting some mechanical gizmo with my life.
I believe that.
I'll take the parachute, and I'll take control of my own destiny, thank you. But I do know that when the kids went down for the Western States Hockey League went down for the showcase in December, they had a blast. A lot of them were riding those things up there at the Stratosphere, but they had nothing but great things to say about the showcase as well. Now, what kind of scouts or recruiters do you guys have coming in down there in Vegas?
So we have John Coughlin, old school recruiter from Worcester State University. We have guys from Becker College. St. Mary's is always out here. We have NAHL scouts. We have USHL scouts. I didn't get the list yet, but we come out with a list. The tournament starts tomorrow, so we'll have a list, and I could send that over to you guys. But usually for our showcase event, we have about 50 college scouts that fly in, and that's part of the reason we do it in Vegas. The flights are, usually a little more direct than getting to McCall, Idaho.
Yeah.
The rooms are cheap, and it gives the scouts something else to do as well. Like, hey, we'll go to Vegas, So,
and
it's cool. They like it, and But what about the second game? So I kind of want to move you guys forward here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So we
you already have. That's okay.
The second game of the day is actually the only one tomorrow that pits two division champions against one another. The Heartland Hounds, the division champion out of the Midwest League, they didn't lose in regulation all season.
Wow.
I think they were 47-0-1. They kind of ran through everybody. They're from Michigan. And they ran through the playoffs. They swept both, as top four teams. They swept, were done, won the title. And they're taking on the Syracuse Stampede, which is the number one team out of the Northern States League. They finished number 2 in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, they beat Lake George in the championship game after winning in the first 2 rounds. They won 3 straight. So that's another one to watch, the Midwest League, the Heartland Hounds. I mean, you don't lose all regular season, say what you want. You're a good hockey team, and they have a goaltender with the Heartland Hounds. Let me actually just check on it real quick. Who is committed to Division I hockey?
Oh, actually. Really?
Wow.
With Ferris State, yeah.
Yep.
Let me make sure it's actually him. No, it's not Heartland Hounds.
Okay.
I lied. The kid plays for actually it's Syracuse, so it's the team they're playing.
Okay.
And the kid's name is Trace Pennock, Pennock. He's a Michigan kid. And he's committed to Ferris State. So from what I understand, he's the only kid in this tournament that is D1 committed. There's a kid from Idaho, Kyle Mitsunaga, who has an offer on the table from St. Cloud State. He's mulling it over, maybe thinking about playing juniors a little longer. But this goalie for Syracuse, who's kind of carried them through the playoffs, is D1 commit.
And you've also got a kid named Kyle Williams, who's committed to the West New England, and a couple other kids, actually one Alex Herzenga, to Morrisville State with Trace Pennock. They've got quite a few guys that have got commitments already before the season is already done. Now, popping back to the Heartland Hounds on Sunday, April 7th, first game of the day, Idaho versus the Heartland Hounds. That is going to be an awesome game.
Somebody's got to lose, right?
Yeah, somebody has to lose, and that's
you have to think.
2 of the probably hottest junior teams in the country right now going head-to-head come April 7th, and that game is at 10:10. Yeah, again, all games are on fasthockey.com, and you can actually listen to Brent Maranto call the game.
That would be me, yeah. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're doing it's a pretty easy schedule. We got 10. The first game of the day is at 10. The second game of the day is at 1:20. The third game is at 4:40. So it's a nice little gap. Check out the games, and then Monday they go into the semifinals. So 2 teams are out, and then Monday or Tuesday we have the finals. So. But yeah, it's like you said, Heartland, didn't lose a game in the regular season. Tennyson, the other team from the Midwest League that is here, played them pretty tight. And Tennyson's actually a number 3 seed going into the playoffs that lost in the division title. So they're kind of like a Bay Area where they snuck up, got hot at the right time. Tennyson, who plays Idaho in the nightcap tomorrow night, or afternoon cap, they have 2 former WSHLers on their team. So, the talent level's right there. They have a kid named Ryan Brown, a Michigan kid that leads them in scoring. He played for the Arizona Redhawks and was a very good player for them. He wasn't a 3rd, 4th line guy. He was a top line guy. And then they have a kid named Joey Matchizek who played for the Dallas Ice Jets last year. Kind of an energy guy, drops the gloves a little bit, but I want to say he had like 35 points last year. So 2 very good hockey players. They're a good hockey team. They're going to have their hands full with Idaho, and the overwhelming sentiments coming in is that Idaho's kind of a favorite. But you know what? It's just like you guys said. You sleep on anyone, or anybody could win on any day. I mean, I would guess out of the 2,000 people in the town of McCall, there might have been 1 or 2 that would have told you Bay Area would have been in the title game against Idaho. And if they would have told me that, I would have told them they were lying.
Any team, any day, and that's sort of what we've said the entire time. When it comes to playoffs, anybody can beat anybody. Let's talk real quick about the Best of the Rest tournament. That fires up on Friday, and we have 2 teams from the Western States Hockey League. One, correct me if I'm wrong, one's an overage group, and then one is just
one's an under 20.
Under 20. So this is giving say like the kids, the overage kids, one last crack at having some scouts and recruiters in the stand, and kind of like an all-star overage team. That might be kind of fun too to watch.
Exactly, and the one thing you run into is a lot of these guys are 21 right now. Yeah. They've turned 21 since January 1st, so they're still junior age. But we have the casino here, we have alcohol here, and Ron made sure he reminded them, hey, if you want to come to this, that's great. We're happy to have you. We sent out invites last week, and the teams were just finalized today. because some kids couldn't make it, some kids, are hurt, certain things pop up. It costs money to get here, obviously. So it's kind of saturated with local guys, the California area. But, guys like Ryan Devine, certain guys, they're 21 years old now. And so Ron kind of had to tell them, while you're here, you're not 21. And these guys, they're all respectful kids. But it's like you said, maybe one last hurrah. I know maybe 75% of the 20-year-old roster has D3 college offers or they're thinking about playing ACHA club hockey. They kind of have their route set. But, who knows? What if you have a good weekend and, someone's here checking you out, just like Greg was getting checked out in McCall, and you get lucky, just like he did in McCall.
Well, the difference is the women checking him out were walking around with white canes. And
hey, you know what?
They weren't really sure what they were looking at. Is that Greg?
It doesn't really matter.
You said women. You said women. That's
I did say,
right.
Yeah, woman. Yeah, there's a woman that was stalking him there.
As long as you can get checked out.
Well,
nobody's counting.
Boys.
You got checked out. Good for you.
Yeah, that's one thing that Special has got probably more than me. You got checked out a lot more than me.
Yeah, he's got that Hextall look. It's like you said, chicks dig a badass, and that is what he is.
He's got a badass is what he's got. I don't know if he's a badass.
You guys, normally I don't talk much, but I am really speechless. This is just...
Normally someone would say, you're talking about me, I'm right here.
Yeah.
It's like we're talking about you in the third person.
Everything you're saying.
Yeah, I can hear everything you're saying. See,
my headset is plugged in too.
Just sometimes your vocal cords don't work. See, women run away from me and they walk towards Greg. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like that opposite magnet effect. We keep getting all these text messages in. What does that text say?
Okay, it's Paradise Burger. They want to know how soon Brent's going to pay up his tab.
Paradise Burgers is after you, man, and we're gonna have them track you down.
Paradise Burgers is awesome.
Oh,
that
awesome?
was a good spot out there, McCall. And I've been there before, but Paradise Burgers saved me on Sunday in McCall. It was Easter Sunday, and I'm not a huge religious guy.
Apparently not.
And I'm going around McCall, and I go into Chef Jeff's, which is a great spot, a couple other places. My Foglifter Cafe down there, I was starving, and I go, are you guys open? They're like, no, sorry, it's Easter Sunday. And I'm like, oh, my God, I didn't even know it was Easter Sunday. And I drive down the street, Paradise Burgers is open. Just a savior. Got some chicken strips and fries, and, I mean, they were really good. And, they always have the NHL games on there. If anybody ever goes to McCall, hopefully, the 3 or 4 guys that are listening right now that go up there, go up there and check it out. Did you guys get a chance to eat there?
No.
But what I do want to say is this is a good commercial. They just texted us again, and they said that's not going to get you out of your tab.
Sorry, brother. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
So we've got... Let's see. We've got just sort of looking through the roster. We got you got Zach Zamora. You got Connor Haney coming down from Seattle. Yeah. Tommy Bennett from the Spartans. You've got Melanson from the Spartans, and of course, big Ryan Devine popping on down there. Alex Burkadin, good tender, a little small, 5'6", 170, but Burkadin had a pretty good year. Thalica, another
Ogden kid.
Yeah, you got guys all over the map, and I honestly think this is a great chance for these guys to really kick it up one last time. And and Thalica on those guys though. Thalica's on the under 20 team. Yep.
So he'll be back. There's the 2 teams like you said, but yeah, I mean to play one more time. Some of these guys were bummed. Southern Oregon just got knocked out of the playoffs, but what good guys do they have on that roster?
Yeah.
I don't remember who came over to the tent on Saturday night after they got knocked over. I want to say it was Melanson and somebody else, but thank you guys and thank us for being involved like we did anything anyway.
Yeah.
And that was awesome to see. I think a little bit of that played into the fact that Southern Oregon has so many guys. I mean, they have a ton of talent. You got Tommy Bennett, you got Mike Kowicki on another team, Ryan Devine, MJ Melanson. I'm sure one of the goalies, either Bryn or Buckley, would have been there. I know Buckley's injured, but all around. And I said it. That team gets a connotation for being rough and a little over the edge. And I think it was granted earlier in the season. But as that season went along, that team was a class act down the stretch.
All the way.
And the guys that they brought in via trade, kind of. I don't want to say there were certain guys that were problems, but there was a couple guys that needed a change of scenery. And they got that, and that team was not. I mean, I didn't see a dirty play from them in Idaho. I didn't see them frustrated or trying to fight at the end of the game. they played hockey, they lost, and they left. And, it was pure class from, Jeff Salzburn, Casey Cudler, who were coaching that team, two great guys. And, that program, I think a lot of people kind of stepped back and looked and said, you know what? This program is going to be the class of this league, not only on the ice but off for years to come here.
Well, yeah, you're right. It was a team of frustration in the beginning. It was a team of change, and as you saw it kind of move on, you kind of saw the team mature and kind of grow up through the adversity. And for the limited amount of penalty minutes they took at the Thorne Cup, that just goes to show the testament of how much they had grown since day one, back in September, October. So listen, Brent, we're going to go and let you go, man. We certainly appreciate all the inside information you've given us down there in Vegas, and you taking the time away from your luxurious suite that they put you in.
Yeah. It's a nice little room. I wish you guys were here to check it out. It was great hanging out. I'm glad I'm a third wheel now. You know what I mean? I kind of got that in my name.
Yep, you are.
Hopefully, I'll be sure to reference you guys tomorrow during our Fast Hockey broadcast. So hopefully we have, it'll be cool to have the fans from the Midwest League and the Northern States League being graced by my voice. So that's going to be nice. And, but it will be cool to see a different level, which I haven't seen, since the WSHL went to USA Nationals a couple of years back. And it will be cool to kind of see how everything stacks up. I mean, I broadcast, I do this all the time, and, I'm really actually excited to see this, which I can't say a whole lot anymore because, it's my job.
Yeah. It's a new look, though. It's something new, and that always brings the excitement back to it. And we do want to, invite everybody to join Brent on the broadcast, fasthockey.com, and first game of the day, 10 a.m., Bay Area Seals versus the Lake George Fighting Spirit tomorrow, April 5th, and it goes all the way through Monday. Actually, Tuesday is the championship, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And so you can listen to Brent and get tired of him.
Before I take off, I got to get your predictions. I know you haven't seen much of the northern states, the Midwest, but are you guys going Idaho?
I don't know. Special, what do you think?
I think I need a little bit more time to study it. How about if I text these in tomorrow night?
Yeah, watch the games tomorrow, and then I want to know what you guys think, where it's going. We can place like a little friendly on it.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, we're bet. Yeah. Well, it depends on how friendly it's going.
He's still trying to get us to cover that tab for him.
Yeah. I know. It was $8.50. I thought the menu said $6.99, but I guess tax in McCall is different.
Tax is a little bit different in McCall. Yeah, and they're trusting too. They're such a trusting sort. We'll check the games out tomorrow. We will text you what we think, each one of us, our predictions on who's going to go all the way to the championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
And do both of us a favor, say hello and give our best to Bob and Ron.
I will. They were just saying hi, and Bob keeps talking about how good of a job you guys do. He said he'll never go on the air with you because he doesn't have anything to say. But he says those guys do a great job. So the WSHL reciprocates your love.
Oh man!
Nice.
I feel the pats on the back already. That just warm and fuzzy feeling is just creeping up my spine. Brent, you guys have a great weekend down there. We'll be tapping in. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye. There he is, Brent Maranto.
Wow, fun.
Yeah, good
fun
stuff.
Conversation. That was a good one, too. A lot of information, not only for McCall, the WSHL, but down there, what's going on down there in Vegas, too.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you. This is the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show right here in the Pirate Radio Network. I don't know if we're as confused as most people think we are. There's just way too many switches and sliders and buttons and lights to look at here at the Felony Flats.
On multiple devices, too. Plus, you got the touchpad to your left.
We got all kinds of stuff going on here. We actually, more than you know, the 2013 USA Hockey Tier 3 National Championship has put the games in the record books for day one. Run through those scores real quick. The Bach Blazers lost to the Atlanta Knights, the defending national champions, 3-2 in overtime. A good friend of the BS Boys, Brandon Hawsey, plays for Atlanta. Did not play today, though.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
I was hoping he would get some time this weekend.
Kind of hanging out, being the backup. Middle frame, we had New Hampshire playing the North Iowa Bulls. The Bulls, very solid, steady team, ended up taking that win 5-2. Twin City Northern Lights taking on the Bellingham Blazers of NORPAC, 6-0. In that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Northern Lights, the Twin
Mark
City.
Collins, Bellingham
Yeah, Mark Collins, they ended up getting 12 shots in the entire game. You're not going to win many games only getting 12 shots on net. So the Twin Cities Northern Lights ended up taking down the Blazers 6-0. And then in the nightcap, the game that we're sort of really looking forward to, were the New Jersey Rockets taking on the Helena Bighorns of the America West. Helena put 66 shots in on New Jersey. New Jersey got 28. Helena takes the win 2-1 in overtime. Now, there was I'm going to hop back here to the Northern Lights Bellingham Blazers game. Cody Foster, who had an incredible season for Bellingham, and we talked quite a bit about Cody. 4 goals were scored in a minute and a half near the end of the second period.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And that actually put the score 6-0. 4 goals in a minute and a half. And so Robert McDonald came in relief at the beginning of the third period there for Cody. Cody, a very solid goaltender. It happens to everybody. You just kind of don't want to have it happen on the national stage.
No, he had a great run in the championships series with NORPAC. And I mean, that's got to be some type of record. 4 goals in a minute and a half.
Yeah, it was crazy. Twin Cities put 44 shots in on Bellingham. Bellingham only got 12. So right now, first day is in the books tomorrow, and you can catch all these games at fasthockey.com. So the first game up, North Iowa Bulls taking on the Bellingham Blazers of NORPAC tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time. Catch all those games on fasthockey.com. All right, paper goes away.
Hey, can we try something?
Yeah, we got a few. Yeah, we got a few minutes. I think most of the people have already shut it off by now. But yeah, we got.
Well, maybe they have, but maybe they can catch us. I'm going to try and get a hold of John Barth.
Okay.
From McCall, Idaho, live. I'm going to just dial his number, see if he'll pick up. What do you think?
Yeah, we can spend a couple minutes talking to John, but we also know, number one, he's probably flat on his back.
Flat on his back.
Somewhere. Or under a table. Or, something at the rink. But yeah, if he's not busy, let's see if he picks up.
All right, let's go.
You can just point when you say that. Hey, look, it's ringing.
There's one ringy dingy.
One ringy dingy.
Howdy, boys.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. How do you know it's us? Do you have us on your phone?
Well, no, what happened is Fritzy from the Dan Patrick show sold you guys out.
Oh, no way.
Who did?
Fritzy.
Fritzy from Dan Patrick. He called us a little while ago and said if I talk to you guys, then he's not going to have me on with Dan Patrick in the morning because there won't be anything else left to say.
Dude, I'm sorry. We ruined the dream.
Oh, no, I'd rather be here.
How are you, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. The trip back was a lot of fun. It was we left at 5 a.m. We were on the road at 5 a.m. And usually when we say we're going to leave at 5, it's usually like 9.
9.
But yeah, we were on the road at 5 a.m. and watched a beautiful sunrise coming up over the mountains and the tree line. It was something else.
Yeah,
pretty romantic, actually.
That was I don't know if I'd go romantic. But
no, it was. It just happened to be with a very unromantic driver. That's the problem.
You saying Gabe is unromantic?
Gabe wasn't driving.
Yeah, I know.
So we've had a couple days there, JB, to kind of have the dust settle and kind of get things back to normal. Recap. Give us now that everything's kind of back to normal, give us the final verdict on the Thorne Cup there in McCall, Idaho.
Well, I'll tell you, we're still working on getting back to normal. We had an ammonia leak Sunday night. Actually, we knew about it Sunday morning and just kind of nursed it along on Sunday because we just wanted to get through that game. But I've been down to Boise twice, kind of dealing with that.
Oh, wow.
I went to the Steelhead Banquet, threw a banquet down there on Tuesday because a number of those guys are going to be heading home straight from Vegas, so there wasn't a chance to get back with the billet families and all that kind of stuff. They did a banquet on Tuesday night.
What kind of awards were handed out at the banquet?
Well, all kinds of good stuff. The standard stuff as well as some fun stuff. I did your standard most improved and most valuable and most goals and all that kind of most inspirational, all that kind of stuff. But did some unsung hero, the biggest hitter. JD, John Driscoll, gave away an award. He gives away a baseball bat every year to the biggest hitter.
Nice. That's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun, but it was neat. There was over 100 people, all the billet families, and for throwing something together in 24 hours, it was a neat little event.
Well, that's and again, the kids deserve it, and whether or not they are, say, a Mercado or on down the line, the kids love to gain that recognition and know that they're appreciated. And, those end of the year parties, I don't know how many other teams had them, but, that's awesome that they ended up doing that for everybody.
Well, they did. And it's, neat stories come out of that, too. You get to hear some of the stories, like apparently, Jesper Jensen, number 9, who was the most inspirational player. I don't know if you remember Jesper, just a little guy, number 9. He's out there getting after it, but I guess that they kind of went to him about the trade deadline and said, well, here's the deal. Bottom line is, as we wind down to the playoffs, we can probably get you somewhere else where you're going to play a bunch, or you can stay here. But to be realistic, you're probably not going to play a lot in the playoffs. And he said, well, let me think about it for a day, and we'll kind of see where we are with it. He came back and said, well, here's the deal. I'm going to stay, and I'm going to play. And so he worked like heck the last 3 weeks, and he did play 2 of those games, I think, against Southern Oregon in the tournament. So I think that's the kind of stuff that's neat, where you hear some background stories about just wouldn't quit. So, you know what? I'm not going home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to make that 4th line and play in these in this Thorne Cup. So that's a neat story.
Yeah, that's definitely an inspirational story. Good to hear too. What other good stories, awards you have coming out from there?
Well, like I say, it's standard stuff. Ricardo was most valuable. You had Dom and Stefan as a high point. Unsung hero, I think that was probably Tyler Kernickel. Played offense as well as defense. Did everything he needed to do. The guy's just been everywhere for 3 years. Evo Sherlock. What did Evo get? Evo got an award that basically means you're grinding in the corners hard for 3 years. I don't
he
think
did
I ever
too.
saw the guy lose a battle in the corner in 3 years, but. We had, what was the count on it? There's 12 guys that age out on that team, 3 that had been with us for 3 years, and 5 that were back for a second year. So 8 of those players were at least second-year players, which is another thing I didn't realize kind of neat.
So 12 overage, and they're gone, which means J.O. is going to have to go back to the drawing board and put together a 4th Thorne Cup Championship team now.
Well, as much as ever. I think, when you look at what's happening, even some of the younger guys like Augie and Kyle Mitsunaga and Zach Walden, those guys, play well enough that they're in a position to move on, the guys that are 17.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And so not only the kids moving on, but the kids that may end up moving up. And, kids going to college.
That's my point. Those are guys at that age that play that well at 17 that could very well be moving up,
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get a paper today, by chance?
Thursday.
I did. Yeah, boy, did you get one there?
No, yeah. We have a special delivery out here to fill in flats.
Because we got the osprey delivery, the pigeon and osprey delivery service going first thing this morning. But Tom did a great job with that. I mean, the whole paper is Thorne Cup.
Oh,
really neat what he did. He did a great job with it.
Well, we need to put in a special request or requisition anyway for a couple copies so we can pass that along to all of our listeners as to the coverage you got.
Well, I've kind of got a little care package for you. I rounded up a couple different things from the tournament, from the standpoint of flyers and programs and all kinds of stuff like that. So we'll send you a package that's got a little bit of everything in it.
Does it have a little bit of Gabe in it?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you.
Take it out. We don't.
I don't
want
know
it.
if you can package that.
No, it's funny. We ended up leaving there, and part of the chat on the way home, we were passing out nicknames to some of the people there, and it's like our official, I don't know, posse, and you're on it. You've got a nickname. It may take some explaining to do, but they've all got nicknames now.
Good. Well, I can't wait to hear about that. I haven't had a chance, actually, because, I've actually played hockey the last couple nights. Monday and Wednesday, we've got our men's tournament this weekend, so the Brawl in McCall, the old guys.
I think you might want to rename that the Fall in McCall instead of the Brawl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as you got the AED there right beside the rink, it's ready to go on anything.
That's the tournament you really need the EMTs for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the oxygen.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
but McCall, I'll tell you guys, so I have, just getting around town the last 3 days and kind of trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. It's been nothing but positive related to the tournament. So, across the board, I think we created new fans that we already had were blown away by how much fun they had, and it was a great thing. I think in the end it was everything we expected and a little bit more.
Yeah, I will tell you that we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves too. From the time that we pulled in there, it was just a spectacular view until getting up at 5 a.m. and jumping in the car, just the amazing view we had looking up at the stars and the moon. It was just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, wow. That's way too much information. I thought you were going to go, great location, great hockey, wonderful people. Instead, Special's talking about the night sky, the drive home. Right. Oh, my God. I think we have to send this guy to, emotional rehab.
I almost saw him running on the beach in slow motion there with his hair flowing behind him.
With what hair?
Well, the wig. You put a wig on when you run because otherwise you'd be recognized. I thought you were going to actually just jaunt across the frozen lake with the wind just blowing in your hair and all these animals chasing you. They're Special. What if he has snacks? Does he have snacks?
We've had bears in team buses up here.
No way.
It was two of them. San Diego and Phoenix have both had a bear crawl in their bus over at Paradise.
Good Lord.
Bus drivers leave the bus door open, they come in, they're hanging around doing whatever they're doing. And,
really?
The bears will come in, and it's pretty funny. And sure enough.
Oh, my God.
Well, you get a bear in their butts in San Diego. Or
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you guys have a warped sense of humor if that's funny.
We actually saw a coyote across the road, too. We were going home, and we saw a coyote across the road. But the McCall thing to do was to slow down, where the Oregon thing to do is speed up. Yeah, so we had a great time there, and we just thought we'd see if you'd actually answer the phone. I didn't think you were going to answer it. I guess you... No, anytime. Hey, one thing, though. Have you spoken with Jeff Lancaster at all? I mean, is that something that we should talk about in terms of how we're going to put that video together? Because I want to get a release out, probably for your show as well, for your listeners, and let people know what we're doing with that Thorne Cup video. I think that's going to be a heck of an EP. Yes, I sent Jeff an email, and he's got a couple of projects that he has to get off the table, and he will be jumping on all 9 games probably within the next day or two. So I believe that's going to be about a 3-week turnaround before all the DVDs are ready to go. All 9 games as well as the montage. Yes. Yep. Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And people can actually, end up going to his, website and stuff like that. Again, just give it to you since it's actually right here, promixsoundvideo.com. And you can email Jeff, promixaudiovideo@aol.com. And we cut him a commercial, so we're playing his spots on the air starting tonight. And we will be talking to Jeff probably next week to find out what additional things we need to give him. So we will keep everybody up to date on as far as when the DVDs will be ready to go. They are going to be spectacular. I saw, maybe I was the only one, he actually put the camera in the net, and he got some of the most phenomenal footage with his little GoPro in the net. People are going to be blown away. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Oh, spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So, yeah, we'll be keeping everybody up to date on that as well. So, I know it's late there, and the milk is probably boiling, and you probably got your whoopee all ready to go and rack out. We're going to let you go, and we're going to be catching up with you off and on here and just kind of keeping pace with everything going on in McCall. Got it. We'll keep in touch, guys, and we'll let you know as things develop. All right, buddy. We appreciate you answering the phone. Yeah. All right, you bet. All right. Thanks. See ya. Hey, take care. See you guys. John Barth, all the way from McCall. Actually, he took the call. Kind of bizarre. Especially on a Thursday night, you'd think he'd be over at Forster's. Yeah, you would think so. Yeah. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for another edition of the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show right here from Felony Flats. Good to be back home after the 5 days over in McCall, Idaho. Don't forget, every Thursday night, 7:30 Pacific Time, we are live right here on the Pirate Radio Network.